I hope I don't f it up. Alright, are you ready?
Plot twist, he fucks it up.
I probably will. Take 6. Welcome back to Voicing Valiant, Episode 8, a podcast by the community for the community, where we talk about all things Valiant and their wonderful sponsors. This time we'll even remember the Otter Pops. I'm Chad.
And I forgot the Otter Pops. I'm bookworm.
Essentially the same thing. This week was a bit of a nice one, for lack of better words.
I think for the most part, the games kind of went how I expected them to be. Except for maybe like London versus Boston. I didn't expect it to go to 2-1.
Yeah, that one was a little surprising. Other than that, I think most of the games went about how I expected them.
Oh no, London versus Dallas. You know, I just realized both the London games didn't go how I expected them.
I actually did expect Dallas to beat London this week. Because Dallas has kind of stepped up and London is seemingly like stepping down a little bit.
I was thinking it'd go to like map 5.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't expect them to close it out with just the 4 maps.
The dragons are being the dragons still.
Oh, the poor dragons. Just give them a win already.
They need to deserve the win.
They deserve to. They work hard. And they'll work hard enough to get that win one day, I guess.
I hope. I'd like to see them get a win, but I don't want them to just be, here's a win.
Handed it,
here's a win, have fun. Thanks for being here.
Like, it's the last game of the season. We already know we're not gonna get into playoffs here. We'll give you that win, sort of win. Nah, they want to work for it.
I want them to step up and actually stomp a team.
Squish them hard.
But I don't know what team would be within their grasp at this point. I don't mean that in a toxic way.
Like realistically looking at
I understand
the
that it is slightly toxic.
The performances.
But I would.
Yeah, looking at it in a non-toxic way, like just looking at the stats, the performances in those past games, it's not looking well for them. It's not. There's no way to go around it.
There definitely seems to be a massive communication issue, which is understandable with, to my knowledge, none of them actually sharing a language.
Yeah, you got half of them with Korean, half of them with Chinese.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it's Mandarin, the one that they all speak.
And then I think it was the Seoul game. I'm not 100% sure. I believe it was on King's Row, where they had 6 ults and the enemy team had none, and they still lost the fight.
I know
that was kind of the moment where I was like, all right, there's not much team coordination here.
It's like, I know they've released stuff in the past talking about how the language barrier is actually really, really bad for them, because sometimes the name of the players, the names of the heroes will sound like other words in each other's languages, and they'll be trying to communicate, and maybe they say, I think it was Tracer was the one that they used as an example, which in one of the languages, the way they pronounced it was sounded like go back or something like that. I believe that is the example they gave. At the very least, that's what's going on at the time. Was they'd say a name and they think they meant something else. So it's not just a thing that can easily be changed.
Oh yeah.
Because they speak two very they're both know 2 different languages, and then there's also the English in the middle. And then the names of the heroes and just all of that mixed in together just isn't working for them.
I also would like to call attention to, I believe a lot of the issue lies in their management. It was, I'm not going to say a stupid call, adding in the Koreans and such, but
it was good to add new players in, but I feel like the way they handled it wasn't well.
Yeah.
Because it ended up causing that language barrier.
And the language barrier, which don't get me wrong, individually as players, they're doing they're doing great things. Every now and then I'll be watching Otto or Dia or Gaguri.
Dia, oh my god, Dia popped off.
Yeah, like they're as individual players, it's like, okay, yeah, there's a lot of talent on this team. But it's like having a lot of wood and then tying it with like twine.
Yeah, like Custa said in one of the past NA Valiant videos, I think it was the video, either that or a interview. I want to say it was a video. He mentioned saying that, how do you say it? It's not about having the people with the best mechanical skill. It's about all the players working together as a team.
Yeah. Which I agree with. Another good example of like a good call was Gladiators picking up Fissure because they had Bishu.
Mm-hmm.
If Bishu wasn't on that team,
translate.
I don't think Fissure would have been as good of an addition.
Yeah, because there would have been that language barrier. There would have been a lot of frustration.
Mm-hmm.
And at very least, Bishu is there to be the middleman. And in game, he will be translating for Fissure, as Fissure is trying to learn how to communicate in English as well. I know that's one of the issues that was happening with the Fuel, with Rascal.
Yep, I was just about to mention that as well. That was one of the reasons
Serena wasn't that middleman.
Yeah, if Fuel had a middleman such as Bishu, I think Rascal would have been a much greater addition. But without him,
he would have.
Fuel is looking a lot better though.
Yeah, this is definitely the meta.
I know, like especially
Mickey,
against London.
Is just...
Against London, Unko looked amazing.
Unko, I remember there was so many jokes like, because at one point they messed up the like team names at the top, and it said it was New York XL versus Valiant.
Mm-hmm.
And so Spitfire versus Fiora, they're like, hey, Uncle went back to Valiant.
We could only wish. I liked Unko a lot. I still like him. I'm glad that Fuel is actually starting to do well. I like a lot of their players.
Mickey on Brigitte is scary as heck, and then London continuously playing dive into his Mickey. Just so good.
London and Boston both are adjusting to this meta very slowly, it feels like they don't really know what's going on.
Yeah, I feel like London is and London has adapted better than Boston, but Boston, come on, like
Boston are kind of stumped after an impressive last stage.
Crush, how much of a crush to the ego must have happened after they like go 10-0 and suddenly can't win?
It's a little insane.
But yeah, I think that's all we gotta say about the Overwatch games this week.
Well, the Overwatch games not involving the best team in the game.
Of course. We can now move on to the best team in the league. So
we started off with the Battle of LA, which the entire game could have been nothing, and it'd still be my favorite game in the world because of our walkout. I'm gonna be honest.
Just the way everybody was freaking out at the table, just Golden Boy was like, "What is this?" Just like, I was so proud. Ray did an amazing job on that cosplay, honestly, and then all the people from Medieval Times that just. Have you ever been to Medieval Times?
Can't say I have.
So I don't know if it's.
It is 2018.
Like how spread out. I don't know how spread out it is in the US, but Medieval Times is kind of like it's like a dinner and entertainment thing. You pay a bunch of money to go and have like medieval time quotes, like air quotes, they're themed food, I guess. And you get to watch people joust and all that kind of stuff. You're seated by like colors of the team. I think when I went, I was on the green team. There's like a bunch of team colors, like blue, red, all that stuff. All these knights are like battling it out. So much fun to watch. Cause they have these like fake fights, and these swords look real as heck. They're like real swords, but they're dull on the side, so you can't actually like cut each other up with them.
That's
It's amazing to watch. So
that's
when you see those outfits, like they're not just outfits they made for the occasion. Those are like the like uniforms they would wear at that place. Like, and they have like really good food. Like I think even though it's like kind of the appetizer type food, they have this thing they call like dragon nut soup or something like that. It's tomato soup.
Yeah.
But it's so good.
It does sound
so good.
interesting. I didn't know that was even a thing.
Yeah, I don't know how far out it goes or if it's just a West Coast thing. I don't know if it's just a California thing either.
I would be
And
interested.
also, you live in the middle of nowhere.
I would be interested to find out how like they decided to go with that.
I mean, like it fits the aesthetic of Ray's costume, and I think it's one of the guys who's on the like the Valiant Street team that was one of the guys in costume. So I guess maybe he got his buddies from medieval times to join in. Not sure how that all went down, but it's still really, really cool.
But moving back to the games.
Yeah, not the actual games. Even though Valiant did win with walkouts.
Yes, that we beat him in walkout, and then we beat him in game. And what a game it was, too.
And it was very interesting to start it off with Blizzard World being a draw. Because Gladiators have been pretty good on Blizzard World. Well,
pretty good. They haven't lost yet.
I'm trying not to give them too much credit.
They still got that technical perfect record, but it was.
They did technically have a perfect record.
It was their best map, and a lot of people have said that Blizzard World is our worst. So
it's third to worst.
Taking that draw,
not counting this past week. Yeah. Like, not counting this past week, because I don't think Winston-Nav has updated yet since they don't have these past week games. Blizzard World is the third to last. No. Did I count this wrong? Second to last. Yeah, I think I counted it wrong. Second to last in our win. Did I read this right? Yeah.
I wouldn't know. I don't look up stats much. I'm not a stats guy. I'm just here for the ride.
At the very least, Winston Nabs is kind of good with showing the like map win stuff. I wish it's not wait for me to set this up so I can look at it not by play time but by win percentage, because I had to like individually look back and forth to the win percentages. Nah, that isn't. But yeah, Lunar Colony is the like Valiant's worst map statistically, but they have played it more than Blizzard World. And Blizzard World has I think 20% more with the win rate. Yeah, about 20% better win rate than Lunar Colony. But even though that is Gladiator's like said best map, Valiant still managed to draw on it, and they had an amazing horde at first.
Oh yeah, I was looking at the very beginning. I was like, okay, this is bad.
I feel like it could have gone a lot better in Valiant's favor if they had managed to hold that first point. Like, because Valiant seems to be getting better at holding points, individual points, not necessarily with payloads and stuff.
Agreed.
I feel like that's the half of Blizzard World that they like don't get.
Horizon was pretty good. I do remember there was one point. I think it was point A of, I want to say the first round, that we held pretty poorly, in my opinion.
It's really weird because if I remember correctly, the last time they had played Lunar Colony, Valiant had a full hold on point A. But I feel like that's more so because, like, if I remember correctly, Valiant was attacking first. So they wouldn't have had that chance to full hold to start off the game and then just have to get a tick.
Yeah.
But still, Valiant did a very good job on pushing it. Gladiators, like, even though Valiant held it pretty long, the first, like, I believe they got them down to 2 minutes. So that upped them to 4 minutes to attack point B, if I'm remembering the math correctly. I always forget how much
Sounds
time's
about
added.
right, but like, I also don't remember that well.
Yeah. It was Wednesday, and it was a long time ago.
Wednesday
But,
games I
then,
never remember.
I think what really got Valiant is that Kareem switched to the Bastion, which was a really good pick because there was nothing to really contest him, except for the fact that he was sniping off the point, not touching it, and who was it who was on Zarya? Was it Sherfo, actually? I remember it was somebody who I don't usually see on Zarya. It was on Zarya,
It was
I think.
Sherfor, yeah.
It was Sherfo?
Sherfor's Zarya is amazing.
Yeah. I feel like we don't see him enough on Zarya. He's almost always on our Widowmaker now.
Yeah, that's kind of like how the whole meta has been. Seeing a lot of widows, which makes sense.
And he got 2 right clicks on Creve, which manages to burst him down. He was near high energy by that point, and had those 2 right clicks not happened, I feel like it would have worked out a lot better. And it was only a few seconds better time. But when Valiant did the second attempt on attack, they ended up coming out with, I believe, a minute 30 extra on the clock. So had Valiant not managed to stop the Gladiators from taking the second point on the second attempt, Valiant would have gotten a final attempt, while Gladiators had not, either way. So, even though it started off in a rocky, and the end Valiant still came out with, quite a bit on top. So they won with a minute 30 still in the bank.
All I remember is that there was one point I was like, wow, I wish we would have held that better, and the Sherfor looked great on Zarya.
Yeah, it was. I believe it was point. I think you might be confusing it with point B, since they pretty much
I think it was
right
point
into
B.
point B after point A. And what's really funny is, I believe as of that stage they were both undefeated on Lunar Colony, and which is very funny because before that, I believe Valiant had never. Before this stage, Valiant had never won Lunar Colony.
Yeah, I think that is right.
Yeah, the map, scores and stuff on Winston now haven't updated, and I forgot to check, going back by counting and stuff on the Overwatch League page. Because I think the stats page still isn't up. Yeah, it's still not up. It makes things so much easier. Moving on to Oasis, which is great. And because of that draw on the first map, Valiant just had to take the win there, and they get the win of the series as a whole, and they pulled it off.
Yes. I can't remember anything about Oasis. I remember it was one of those on your seat kind of moment, or edge of seat kind of moment.
Yeah, I just remember, as usual, Genetics is on the Farah, and I believe it's University, the one with the inside, if people don't know the names, because I rarely remember the names of the 3 individual maps. He switched to Doomfist at the very end to get to the point faster and do the extra damage. Just boop people around. And they're just Jen is coming in with the Doomfist, and he's just snamming people against walls. I'm oh my boy, so good. He's doing so good. He got so many kills. He punched so many people. It was such a good game. At the end, when they showed the stats, Agilities came up with 42% weapon accuracy as far. I'm 42%. Oh my god. Not only is that the meaning of life, the universe, and everything in it.
Of course.
It's it's such a good weapon. A far accuracy. I don't know how people do it. I can never hit shots as far. I can barely get splash damage. Nah.
I can hit shots if I'm on the ground. But if I'm flying around, So people always yell at me. They're like, you're far. You're not supposed to be on the ground. I'm like, yeah, but I'm killing things down here. So I do what works. And then the final map was Dorado, which is one of my least favorite maps in general. Not the
I like
not
the
the game.
aesthetic neat.
Yeah, aesthetically it's all right. I just don't like the design of like not the visual design, but the actual like map design is kind of not that
Like
interesting.
the route it takes.
Yeah.
I got you. Like, I personally like it because there's no room that I can put a teleporter in and that people rarely check. I don't know why, even though it's, like, such a good spot.
Put a teleporter in? I'm sorry. Who are you playing that has a teleporter?
About that,
I don't know.
I swear, I'm
I
not
don't
a
know
word
any
trick.
heroes in the game that have a teleporter.
Hey, I'm paying gold. I can do whatever I want. At least at one point I had 100% win rate on Sim.
That's not bad, actually. I don't think I've ever had.
Yeah, I usually always have at one point I had a 70% win rate on it, like near the entirety of the season.
Mm-hmm.
But then I decided to play like a few games at the very end of the season, and I got like 3 throwers and 2 trolls in a row. I was like, yeah, I shouldn't play on the last day of the season ever again. At least not by myself. Goodbye, win rate.
And then from the Gladiators game, we went on to. I wouldn't
We
say.
didn't even talk about Dorado. We just talked about how we don't like the how you don't like the route it takes.
Things happened on Dorado.
That's how much you don't like Dorado. You don't even want to talk about the game.
At that point, we had already won the match, and I'm pretty sure I'm likely just
blanked out at that point.
Yeah, I know I still had it on, but at that point I was just like, all right, time to go do something else.
Funny enough, at the very, very end, like I was really hoping they'd hold it before the point B, like checkpoint and stuff. I was like, okay, go, because my cat was like screaming at me to go give her water. But then they capped point B, and I'm like, okay, screw this. They have these extra like 2 minutes. They're probably gonna end up capping by this point, and then we're gonna go into time bank. So I'm just gonna go give the cat water and come back. I muted myself in the voice chat for the viewing party. I come back, I see the voice chat is empty, and I see the game is over. I'm like, wait, the Valiant actually stopped them on point C? Like, I felt like they were actually gonna reach the checkpoint. What? No, wait, they were. That one's the game that wouldn't have had the time bank, isn't it? Yeah, that one's the one that they stopped the Valiant before the end. I don't know, I'm getting my games confused. I didn't watch the end of it. I was giving my cat water.
Which is completely fair enough. I think...
Which reminds me, I don't know if my cats have water right now, and there's nobody else home to give them besides my little brother, but he never gives my cats water.
Oh no.
They probably have water. It's just like the dogs sometimes drink the water, and one of them's like long-haired, so like any dirt she has on the hair gets into the water. And my cat specifically, like my brother's cats don't care. Mine cannot stand there being dirt in the water. She will not drink from it. It can be full completely to the brim, but if she sees a bit of dirt in there, she won't drink it. So I'm always having to check it.
It's a very picky cat.
Yeah, and that's why I didn't end up seeing the end of Dorado.
I personally think it was one of my favorite matches of the entire season. It's not the one that had me the most hyped when we beat them, because that was one I was like, hey, we're probably going to beat them. However, the second match this week, where we played New York, I went into it, and I'm like, Valiant will hopefully have a good showing.
Yeah, I think we, even though we were trying to be optimistic, we both agreed that NYXL would beat us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we were both, for once, thank you for being wrong.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, Blizzard World came on, and it happened, and I'm like, okay, it's going to be about how I expect. And so it was at that point I kind of just...
Remember, Blizzard World is Valiant's worst map.
Exactly. But at that point I was just like... I think I started playing a game or something, or I was doing D&D prep or something like that, and then...
Oh yeah, it was a Saturday, so you have D&D.
I had it still running, but I wasn't really paying attention to it, and then I just hear, and Valiant full holds, and I'm like, what? So then I clicked back over, and I saw that we fully held them on Horizon, and then won it, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm now invested in this.
Yeah, like I actually didn't get to watch the game as it was happening live because I went out to go get some like coffee with my mom, some aunts, and then cousins.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, it's gonna take a while because we were just nachisme there. That's gossip in Spanish. I forget people don't speak Spanish. And then after that, I come home and I immediately have to like hop into the shower because my friend from like elementary school is having a baptism party for her baby.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, oh, wait, Ryan's going to Math 5? What happened?
Yeah.
While I was out at coffee. So I put the game on while I'm in the shower and I'm listening to it. And I was like trying to imagine what's going on. And I'm like, I cannot see what's actually going on. I can only hear it. So I'm like, please get the win. Please get the win. I don't know what's going on. I can only trust what the casters are saying. But they only say so much. And then Valiant takes the win. I'm like, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you so.
We had agreed this Saturday, as soon as that game was over, we're gonna play D&D. We were gonna start early, and I was like, all right, well, you know, worst case, if we get 4-0'd, at least I get to play D&D a little bit earlier. So we go to Oasis next. In my personal opinion, that's some of the best New York has ever looked. The first
like Oasis, even though we lost that, I couldn't help but laugh at Soon being like bumped into traffic. I felt so bad because like that's my boy Soon.
Mm-hmm.
But just like seeing like how hard he was trying to get back, and like I think he was bumped 3 times before he finally got hit by a car.
He put up a fight. The first
he
point,
put up such a good fight.
Which that very first point, I think they were like sitting outside our spawn most of the game, and I'm just like, okay, this is back to what I kind of expected. And then we go to Gibraltar.
Like, you're like, oh, Horizon with a nuke in your head, and you're like, and back to D&D prep, and then you're just like, wait, Gibraltar?
Then Gibraltar comes back, and then they're like, hey, let's play again. And I'm like, oh my god, Valiant, please. Make up your minds. And then we took them to Nepal, game 5. We won the first one. Or no, we C9'd the first one.
Oh, yeah, that one was because there was a self-destruct on the point, and they all, like, ran around the corner for a sec to avoid it. But unfortunately, because of how long overtime had been going on, that site, like, getting off the point was enough for it to run out. So, yeah, zoning ultimate actually worked.
Yeah, and then we came back for the second one. And we took it. It was close. And I'm like, all right. I'm starting to get scared. Then we came through that third one. And I don't think I was doing anything else. I was just like staring at it. I'm like, come on. Come on. And then Space got that legendary ult.
That was... Oh, I could like hear the casters talking about like I need to rewatch this part specifically, and I managed to get out of the shower just as it was ending, so I got to catch the highlights at the end that the table was doing. It's like, oh, my boy, they're such good boys. I call them boys, even though like they're 18.
Most of them are older
Space
than
is
me.
younger than me. I can call him a boy.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm pretty sure the others are older.
I still can't believe that some of them are younger than me. I'm turning 20 on the 18th. And
well,
some of these people
birthday.
are young. Yeah.
I'll forget when it gets to the day. So.
Yeah, most people tend to forget because it either lands on Father's Day or it's like one of the days around it.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone's busy with Father's Day and like, oh wait, it was your birthday. Yeah. Straight up, my friend had a graduation party the same day as my birthday back on our high school graduation. And we were there like the entire time at the party and like having fun and stuff. At the very end, they're like, oh wait, isn't your birthday tomorrow? I'm like, my birthday's today. Like, your birthday's today?
Ouch.
Yeah, that happened. That's something that actually happened.
But
yeah, I can't believe these boys did such an amazing job, and most of them are younger than me.
I think my favorite part of the victory was when our team was walking over for the handshake and such. Soon just kind of like looked straight in the camera. He's just got that smug smile.
It's like this Soon smile. It's like, no, it was such a good game. Like, and the wins were definitely well deserved. Like Horizon,
for sure.
a full horde, and then they like most of them didn't even die. On the defense, like I believe Junities had no deaths on Junkrat. Custa had no deaths as Mercy.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe he stayed on Mercy the entire time. I can't remember if he swiped on the attack at all. Then Fate on that Orisa didn't die at all. Like they worked so hard on that Horizon for that full horde. And then we move on to Gibraltar. Like they come into point C with I think like 5 minutes in the bank, and Valiant holds it there and doesn't net NYXL cap. And don't do what Pine did. Just don't. If I see you in my comp games, you do what Pine did. Don't. Just don't do it. Don't. Like, that would have been really cool had that worked. But I feel like he shouldn't have taken the no ground when he flipped over. He should have like tried to hide in that null space on the side. And then once his grapple was off cooldown, grab the high ground. Because that Widow behind on the high ground works. But since he was no, it was like, I guess, and he was like really close to the people who were in the back. It just didn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
He did get the kill on soon. But there's not much else you can do about that when I believe they got Neko. Yeah. I'm really glad Valiant got that win. It's something they very much deserve, something they worked very hard for.
Agreed.
And it was an amazing game to watch.
And then we had many videos go up recently on.
Ooh, what was it, like 5 videos that were up?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, we got 5 videos, not counting, of course, the recap videos, which we never go over.
I've only watched...
you guys should definitely watch them if you guys don't get the chance to watch games. The recap ones have a lot of cool highlights in them.
I agree.
Okay, but this week we had 3 videos for the Girls in Gaming Summit. Each one was the panel, since there were 3 panels, like I mentioned when I talked about it the other week. So if you guys couldn't make it to the Girls in Gaming Summit and want to see the panels that were there is a video for them. I think in one of them you can see the back of my head, so that's a bonus.
Mm-hmm.
They're honestly very, very good videos, and like everything that happened in those panels was very informative. What? I don't know English. I'm sorry. That sounds so weird on my... I don't know. Am I saying that right?
I
don't think I am.
So, yeah.
I don't know. That sounds so weird. I question English. It sounds weird.
Yeah.
Anyway,
there was
also a Becoming Valiant video about the Girls in Gaming Summit. So that's 4 videos for it. Yeah, that one was a fun one. You do not see the back of my head on this one. But yeah, it's a nice... Even though I went to the event, it was nice to see the no video for it.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely recommend watching it. You do see my handwriting at one point.
Very nice. You wrote on the board?
Yeah, they had this little board where you can like... It's like a poster thing they had there where you can write like... Why it's like, why do you play Overwatch?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of like funny little things that people wrote there. It was a lot of fun. You get to just like the other videos I mentioned were like about the actual panels, but this video was like kind of like the people who were there, like the attendees, and like everybody who was like still like kind of doing the chill time, because there was off time when there wasn't panels, and we were just like talking to each other, meeting new people, making friends, stuff like that. And that's kind of what this video more focuses on, rather than the panels like the other videos.
Mm-hmm.
Which is the main difference between these.
Yeah, they were all... Valiant always puts out really good videos, in my opinion.
Then we got a new Inside NA Valiant video.
Which is honestly probably my favorite. One of the things I liked most about it is it showed Cust and Fate having differences of opinion in their shot calling. And then it had Custa talking about, like, how he's dealing with it.
Yeah, because, like, I feel like we've focused a lot on, like, what Space has brought on since he came in and, like, his leadership, as you can see outside the game when he will, like, bring up issues and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking about how that's worked along with Custa, when they brought in Custa and all that stuff. But we haven't really talked much about Fate. Like, Fate doesn't get talked enough, even though he is one of the shot callers. He is the main tank. So you tend... Main tank and your like, what's it called? Main healer are usually the ones who do a lot of the shot calling.
Mm-hmm.
Main tank will, like, call out targets, and the main healer, since their priority is to keep you guys healed rather than doing damage, they do a lot of, like, keeping track of the enemy's ultimate, so cooldowns and all that kind of stuff. So it was really interesting seeing, like you said, the difference in the shot calling and stuff, and then them coming to a compromise.
Yeah, I think that's my favorite part. Is I believe Cuss even says it. He's like, or more or less says at one point, it's not about being right. Like, maybe he was right, maybe I was right. It doesn't really matter anymore. The best thing is that we come to the decision while we're playing.
Yeah, because the issue is if they can't decide, then they're wasting time arguing. Yeah. Which is why, like, Cussa was saying that he'd rather, like, adapt to Fate
than opposed to try
and work together with him.
Yeah, than opposed to being like, no, you're wrong, do it this way. Just kind of work off what he's doing. Because, as you also mentioned, the main tank has a lot of the push and pull of how the flow of the game is going to go. If your main tank isn't doing anything, your team isn't going to do much. It's hard to go anywhere without a tank. And, I don't know, I really think it's admirable the way Custa views the game and views the teamwork. And just, like, all the things about Overwatch. I think he's really intellectual about the game. I feel like he knows a lot about what he's talking about. He doesn't just go on the cameras and, oh, I think I was right, and all that nonsense.
No, he's like an actual team player. He's trying to work with his team.
Yeah.
Which I'm really glad that he, like, I've mentioned so many times, I'm so glad he's on Valiant, because he's been a great addition. I don't think, like, he's trying to start trouble with Fate, over the shot calling stuff. That was just something that ended up being sort of like a difference of opinion in what's best. So they worked it out. They didn't want, like, neither of the two of them wanted to start trouble, and they worked it out in the end.
Yeah, it's great, because in my opinion, that makes a stronger team going through that, as opposed to everyone just being like, yeah, we'll just do whatever.
So yeah, I believe those are all the Inside Valiant videos, so, like, everything they have.
Up next, we've got the What's Next for Valiant segment. And next week, we play Spitfire on Thursday and Outlaws on Sunday. What are your predictions for that?
I don't think we play on Sundays.
Saturday, right. I don't know why I put Sunday in the notes. I need more sleep. I
can't believe we're already at the stage playoffs.
I need more sleep.
Oh my god. Oh my gatos.
But yeah, that's an interesting week. Saturday we play against the Outlaws. What are your predictions for that?
I feel like, I don't know, we haven't had the best record against the Outlaws. But I think I'm not sure. At 3-2 in favor of the Valiant.
All right. Call me slightly toxic, but Outlaws are doing pretty poorly.
They are dropping a bit, but
I wouldn't be surprised if we 4-0 them. I don't think
we're gonna 4-0 everybody. Come on, we have this conversation every week.
We're the best team, okay?
We are actually number one team currently for the stage.
We are number one in stage in Pacific, yes.
Yeah.
But standing wise overall, we are solid second at this point, which is great. Which is also brings me to our next point. We're gonna beat Spitfire 3-1.
3-1.
I think I'll give Spitfire the map. I'll give them a map on
You
us.
give Spitfire.
I won't give Outlaws a map. I won't give Outlaws a map on anyone.
So even the dragons.
I see.
Like you would.
If I was to predict the Outlaw Dragon game that happened, if someone would have been like, "Hey, what's your prediction?" I would have said that they're both going to go 0-0.
Okay, let's like stop talking about the Outlaws before you get toxic. But yeah, like next week's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I think it'll be some fun games. I still
honestly
mad I
didn't get tickets for Saturday.
I don't honestly think we'll 4-0 Outlaws, but it won't surprise me if we do.
Yeah, I was really hoping to go to the Saturday game, but like those tickets sold out way earlier than I expected. Like they sold out before the game that was on, what was it, the 2nd?
Oh wow.
And I was like, damn.
And then also coming up we have the Pride Party. June 10th, I believe.
June 10th, which is the day after we go up against the Outlaws.
So that'll be Sunday.
See, that's a Sunday.
Yeah, that's what I was meaning when I said Sunday. We're versus the Outlaws. It's the Pride Party. It's going to be like old Western Outlaws. They're going to be there.
Yeah, nice try. You guys didn't hear anything.
Yeah, edit that out real hard. Put that like all over the things. But Bookworm has a fake ID. She's going to use to get into the Pride Party.
I feel like we abuse my brother too much with the whole edit that out.
He said he likes it.
Yeah.
Then moving on from that, because I don't think we have anything else for what's next.
Wait, let's check. Was there something else doing a viewing party? Because I know there was one that recently passed.
There are like thousands of viewing parties out there.
Yeah, but like I mean the ones that like Valiant like sends stuff for.
I haven't seen anything, and they need to start using Eventbrite more for those. Cough, cough. So we have an easy place to find them.
Because they do them at a few universities and stuff like that. And I understand why there's not an Eventbrite for those, because that's like a university run thing. It's just like Valiant sometimes sends like stickers and wristbands, stuff to do raffles with. I'm not going to do events, and I see a lot of like
I really like the patches.
I want the patch. I want it so much.
It looked really good on the jerseys while they were on stage.
Yeah. Hey, my birthday's coming up. Who wants to buy me a patch for my birthday?
DM the board Bookworm on Twitter to offer 5 patches.
Did you say 5 patches?
No, to buy patches. But if you want to get Bookworm 5 patches.
I heard 5 patches. I'm like, what do I need 5 patches for?
More power to you.
No, I just like I remember after like Valiant won with the patches on, I just like saw so many tweets like Valiant won it for the gays. I'm like, yes. There's so many like gay pride powers out damage married man meta.
It's pretty good.
We did it, guys.
And then
and like moving on from the patches, the reason why these new Pride patches that Valiant has come out with is because Valiant is now partnered up with You Can Play, which is a project that emphasizes the thing that they like straight up have as they'll buy on Twitter is that they believe athletes should be judged by talent, heart, work ethic, not by sexual orientation or gender identity.
Which is admirable, and how it should be anyway.
Yeah, and Valiant is the first esport that has partnered up with You Can Play. Which is Really, really cool.
Just call us the Trailblazers, the Pathfinders, the Forever Valiant. Insert other lame phrase here. I can speak.
Welcome to podcasting where nobody can speak.
That.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Like, I felt like they'd end up having some kind of partnership with any sort of pride, like community, like something like that. But I didn't expect them to go with You Can Play. I didn't expect them to come out with the pride patches. They'd done like other, like, I know in the past they've had viewing parties that were like sponsored by Valiant at gay bars and all that stuff in the past with what's that thing called? They had a video on it. I'm not sure why I'm thinking out on the name now.
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Red 9. Oh. Yeah. I don't know why I blank out on names very easily. I'm very bad at that. I blank out on names so easily, yet here I am.
Speaking of sponsors and stuff in general, just because we forgot it last week, we have to mention it twice.
I'm sorry.
That's the rule.
I'm sorry.
Otter Pops, both an amazing food and a great sponsor. It's summer.
And what a way to announce it.
It's summer, so make sure to keep cool with a good old Valiant Otter Pop, which better be existing soon, where I can get a lemon lime one, or I will be
lemon
upset.
lime is just the Valiant one.
Yeah. I'll be the upset.
Like, I love Otter Pops. Like
Oh, do you?
I think I was like.
How much do you love them?
My.
On a scale of 1 to forgot them last podcast, how much do you love them?
Shut up. Okay, so like there was like 2 minutes of me just like talking to Dwarf, being like, okay, did we forget anything?
Wow.
And I was trying to like
passing
figure out if
blame
there's
off on the
anything
guest.
else. No, okay. Ooh. So without like trying to figure out if there's anything missing, we both say no. So I'm not the only one who forgot.
Yeah, but he's a
guest. And he's a moderator for Valcord. He should like have this stuff. And then around like midnight, suddenly I remember. I don't know, like, the Otter Pops. I just like send a message to the caster discussion. It's like, the fucking Otter Pops! I forgot the fucking Otter Pops! I was so mad at myself because I wanted to talk about the Otter Pops since it was just like announced in such a funny way.
It was announced in a really good way.
Like, Custa, you're great. I want your jersey. But why?
Did you see the thing?
Why are you like in shades on the ground, just like holding an Otter Pop to your chest?
Did you see the thing they posted? I can't remember who posted it, but it was they had the board of people who remembered to bring their jersey and people who didn't, and Custa was the only one that didn't.
Freaking Custa.
I thought that was funny.
You know, it's really funny because so that was like, it was like the people who remembered to bring the jersey to the ironing party, the people who didn't, and Custa's the only one who forgot. And when I saw that, I was like, wait, the Valiant does the laundry together? What? I was so confused. And then then they come out with the pride patches, which are iron-on patches, and they say they're going to have them at the game. It's like, it was the patches! The ironing party was to put the patches on their jersey. It all makes sense now. It all makes sense. Like, I was like, why are the Valiant players doing laundry together? Why are they ironing their jerseys together? Is this some kind of like team bonding exercise? No, it was to put on the patches.
And then moving on to the next topic, we have a couple questions from Dwarf for VV Talks. The first one is, who is your favorite Valiant player? And if applicable, why? I'll let you go first.
So for you, that's, who's your favorite Valiant player and why is it soon?
Yes, pretty much. But we'll let you go first, then I'll answer.
Who's my favorite Valiant player? Like, that's tough. It's like bounced around all over the place, but I think I've settled on Custa.
It's a good choice.
I don't know. I gotta support my supports.
Yeah.
You know. And he's done very well for Valiant.
I have to agree that it's a very hard question to answer because we have a very good team full of great people. but my answer is soon.
Wicked!
And will always be soon anytime this question is asked, because I believe he is consistently a very large factor in how good we do. He stumbles every now and then. Don't get me wrong, I don't think he's perfect, but I do think he consistently plays quite great. And he's also one of the first pros I followed. But with that said, I also love Space. I love Costa, Karev, whatever. It's a weird word.
Everybody says his name really, because I hear the players on the team call him Karev, but then I'll hear the casters being like, Karev! I'm like, which one is it?
And then, like, Fate, Agilities, Bunny, KSF, Benzie, we just have a really good team. But I do still have to say the Sin's my personal favorite. And then his next question is, what made you choose the Valiant as your favorite or one of your favorite teams? And again, we'll let you go first.
I feel like we talked about this a little bit when we were doing like our mini self-introduction during the off week. But let's see, I guess I was just looking at the teams that were there for, like, I had two teams to choose for. Both LA team, like, because I'm gonna go for an LA team. I'm gonna. And I'm just like, even though purple's my favorite color, I prefer the players who are on Valiant. Like, when I'd watch the plays, like, during, like, past games they've had on stream, I prefer their play styles. And then I looked them up on social media, and I really liked the way the social media would interact with the other social medias. Like, they'd meme everything. And they'd be good memes. Like, kind of, one second, there's a dog barking.
We have a good
I don't know if you can hear that, but I feel like the mic might pick that up. Just 1 second.
When things first started, I honestly struggled between Val and Gladiators. The reason between the struggle is I really enjoyed Soon as a player, and I really enjoyed Surefour as a player. And eventually I settled with Valiant because they had Soon and Unko. Unko is also one of my favorites. But when I joined Valcourt, I learned that Valiant was also Immortals. And that kind of just solidified it as my favorite team, along with the community that I've met, the community and the people that I've met on Valcourt and talked to. Just
a community as in the anime channel.
I'm in the other channels, thank you. I use anime like the least.
I see you in there. I see
I'm
you.
in E3 chat in general and Superfan a lot more.
I'm just teasing ya.
I ain't no weeb.
You planned a viewing party for Forny Corny.
Yeah, because it's an amazing show.
Weeb.
And then what's your answer for that one? If your dogs have been quiet.
So, for Valiant, I'm gonna go for LA. Whoa, how do I say LA? There it is. I forgot for a second.
Welcome to podcasting once more.
So, purple's my favorite color. Not gonna lie. Love the color purple. If you look at my stream overlay, it's all purple. But Valiant, just the players on there, I loved way more. Like, I knew about the journeys for a long time. I knew about Soon. And I looked up the rest of them, and I saw their playstyles compared to the ones who were on the Gladiators. And I was like, I think I like the playstyle of Valiant more. I looked into them on social media. I liked the way the social media was run. So I went with the Valiant. I watched the first game in the preseason and I just fell in love with them. I joined the Discord. I was like too scared to join the first viewing party of the preseason. I don't think I joined the viewing party until the first game of the regular season. And no, I think I didn't join until the second game because I was like nervous about it.
I didn't join until like the end of stage 2.
Even though I got super fan, I think within 2 days or 3, I was just So it's kind of like scared to talk in voice chat, and now I go to every viewing party that we have on voice chat. If I can. Sometimes I'm out of the house.
I tried going to one, and it was just a little too loud for me. I was like,
Yeah, like it's not for everybody. It's there's a lot of people who are a bit more sensitive to loud noises. Some people just don't like the constant chattering and prefer to watch the game in their own silence.
Yeah, that's how I am.
But I found it a lot of fun because I could get to just like talking with someone, and like suddenly we're having a side conversation while there's like quiet time in the game. Then suddenly Soon gets a headshot, and we just stop and we're like, Soon, and we cut our conversation short just to scream about Soon. Like,
which is always something you should do.
And it's so fun. Like, it's such an inclusive place. Like, I tweeted out a while, like 2 days ago. No, yesterday, because yesterday was the game. About how like seeing them win with the pride patches meant a lot to me. And just, I never thought I'd be like at home with an esport. Cause you don't think like, here I am. I like girls. I am a girl. Like, you wouldn't think someone like me would like fit in when you think the stereotype of the gamers. Like, but here I am, like perfectly at home with the Valiant.
Yeah, Valiant is a very welcoming team. There's a very welcoming community. But Dwarf's final question is, if you could pick Team USA, what would you put on it? Or who would you put on it?
What would you put on it? I would put pineapple on it.
Same.
Pineapple on pizza. For
me, I don't really know the players that I could put on Team USA, but I would just use the Valiant team.
We got 2 Canadians, an Australian, a couple of Koreans, not a couple, actually. 4 Koreans at this point.
They're currently living in America, so that's good enough for me.
They are not U.S. citizens, and the battle, like, net account is not U.S.
They're close enough in my mind.
Which is why Kareem actually was able to run for, like, the community.
Yeah, he was a community lead. If he can be a community lead, he can be on the team.
The reason that he did as a joke that he applied with like one of his alt accounts that it was bought in the US. So that account is valid for it since it is a US like account. Because every time you buy a battle, like when you get a new Battle.net account, you put what region you're in and stuff. Which is like how they like determine that. That's how you can only vote for your like your country. That way you can't vote for like Korea unless you were to buy the game using a Korean account. Stuff like that.
Who would you put on Team USA?
I don't feel like I also don't think I would remember who is a US like
I at least give an answer.
But I really like Sleepy, so I'd love to have him on it. Bring back Adam. He was very good. Here I am being biased towards supports. Space. Put Space on it. Space. I'm trying to think of a name. Who else is US base? Hey, at least I said 3 people. You just said.
No, I said 6. No, I said 12 actually. So
you just said the Valiant team.
I said 12.
Which I don't think there's enough US who can like on Valiant that can apply for that like.
Look, all you need is Space, and he'll just carry the game. That's all that matters.
That's all that matters, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll put like
until they go against France, and then France will win.
Soon's gonna be on the U.S. team because you said
you just said he can't.
U.S.
You just said he can't, so I'm changing my answer. I want Space cloned 5 times, and that'll be Team U.S. And then
who's the 6th man then?
Space. He's being cloned 5, so there'll be 6 of them.
Oh, he's being cloned 5 times. It's gonna be Space and 5 clones.
Yeah, Space. There's gonna be 6 spaces, and then a little bit more, and you'll have a paragraph.
So yeah, you should not be the like coach for the U.S. team ever.
Yeah, I wouldn't be
At
very
least
good.
I said people.
I'm in Platt. I wouldn't be a very good coach.
Yeah, let's see. Who else? I'm trying to think. Like, I want to like give a full answer, but I can't like for the life of me because I don't feel like
you were missing a player that you shouldn't be missing. That's all I'm gonna say.
I mean, maybe Silkset, but
yeah.
I don't know. I haven't seen him much lately.
Yeah, but isn't he like your favorite player?
Huh? Like, he's my favorite player, but what I mean is like I haven't seen him on stage, so I don't know how the meta has affected him.
You gotta put him on the team though. Come on.
Yeah. It's like I don't want to like just put him on because he's my favorite player. I'm trying to think about who would actually work good together. Because you don't want people with conflicting personalities. Like, I know he's gonna do well. Like, I don't know, maybe put in Super. I believe Super is US.
Yes.
Yes. So Super, you got Super in space. So you got your tanks there. You got your
both are flex
supports tanks with Adam and I'm blanking out. Sleepy. How did I forget Sleepy? And Silkthread. So I'm missing one DPS.
You go like Sinatra, Seagull.
I don't know. No, not Sinatra. If I'm putting Silkthread in, not Sinatra, because Sinatra's not first tracer, but that's what Silkthread is also very good at.
I feel like Silkthread is a lot more flexible than
he is very flexible. He can do Tracer, he can do Soldier, Pharah, Genji. I was about to say a Genesis. I was about to call Genji a Genesis. Okay. So I watched too many Valiant games that I'm starting to call Genji a Genesis. I mean, it's basically the same thing.
Yeah, pretty much. My list would be KSF space. Yeah, you got it.
You're not even gonna put Sneepy in there? Come on, my boy Sneepy.
No
He's
Sneepy.
So adorable! He plays like with a blanket. Or is it a pillow?
Pillow.
People always draw him with a blanket.
Wow. Say how adorable he is, but are you even looking? Are you even paying attention?
No, everybody draws him with blankets. Never with a pillow.
Maybe it is a blanket. I always thought it was a pillow.
Yeah. I don't know. But either way, he plays with something that you usually use to sleep.
Yeah. But other than that, I think all I need is outro now. Because we've got about an hour and a half. Over an hour and a half. Oh, geez. A lot of blank space, but...
There's a lot of blank space, and then we had like 20 minutes of talking beforehand, so that can be all cut out. So we'll have like an hour-long podcast?
An hour long's pretty good. Any more people might not listen to it. I know I personally don't like long. I don't like long podcasts.
Have you listened to the past episodes?
No. I said I did, and everyone believed me, though.
We didn't.
I figured you guys didn't, but everyone else did. But yeah, they're too long.
This is why I call you out while the thing's still recording.
But they're so long.
And I listen to like a good hour and a half every now. Like, actually, let me check how long the Adventure Zone is, because I'll listen to that one forever. And like, have you ever watched like? There are people who watch playthroughs of games, and each episode's like a good hour and a half.
Yeah, but I don't like listening to podcasts.
Yet you wanted to start one.
Yeah. I like supporting Valiant.
True.
I don't like listening to my own voice, but plus I already hear it.
If I have to listen to my own voice, so do you.
I'm here living it. I don't need to go listen to the episode.
Yeah, all the Adventure Zone episodes are like over an hour.
I trust that it turns out great.
Yeah, you know you're not gonna get brownie points from that.
Nah. Not looking for them.
We are forgetting something this time, so we don't have another Otter Pops incident.
Worst case, we'll just ad-lib it back in. Or we'll just do it.
The thing is, my brother's not home.
Oh.
And he won't be home for the next week. He does have his laptop with him, so I'm gonna send the file. So if we forget anything, that's it. There's no
Good
recording
enough.
yet.
We'll just add it in next time. If you guys have any questions or anything, either find us on Discord or tweet at us at Voicing Valiant using the hashtag VVTalks. Other than that, I think that's it for us, besides announcing that you can find Valiant on almost everything under LA Valiant. For example, you can find them on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, Reddit, Discord, and Snapchat. You got anything else, Bookworm?
Don't forget to buy those Pride patches.
And Otter Pops.
I could use an Otter Pop right now. It's so hot in this room. I'm dying. Goodbye. Weeb.